Hello, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Vancouver by Night, Delve into Darkness. As a warning, this is a mature game and it explores some dark and troubling themes. These may include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, and many others. Our players have discussed and set boundaries and will collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. Players will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using yellow and red cards in our private chat. If you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. Our streams will always be available on YouTube after the game, so you can always come back to an episode if you feel ready or skip ahead to the next one. I have also tabulated a list of the yellow and red cards that my players have, and I put them in the Zoom chat as well, so we can keep an eye on that. So it's time to thank our sponsors. First up is Mikhail Artoria of Artoria Designs, who creates these awesome dice boxes, which I have to block my huge monitor here and show you that it's got the storyteller symbol on it. Mikhail should be over there, but if Mikhail is not, and even if Mikhail is, I will put the link to Mikhail's Instagram in the chat so you can pop over there and throw some money at them and get some awesome dice boxes. And Martlet Games. Martlet Games is a collective of TTRPG veterans ready to work for you. From actual play production to tabletop game development, they're a one-stop shop for all your creative needs. Investing in the World of Darkness streaming community helps keep channels like this one online and thriving, and they greatly appreciate any love you can share with them on their Patreon or various media platforms. I should also put a link to their Twitch in the chat so you can pop over there. They have some stuff coming up from what I hear, a bunch of cool stuff. And Dogmite Games. Dogmite Games is the best gaming company you've never heard of. They combine craftsmanship with artistry to create truly unique pieces of functional art for your game, from dice boxes to rolling trays to fully sculpted Valhalla screens for GMs. Each piece is created on site in their workshop in Michigan by a devoted team of craftsmen. And we see all the ones on screen there from everybody. I have the Gangrel one, and there we go, the Gangrel one. And as well, we have a giveaway coming up. So we, as of this recording right now, we are 34 subscribers away on our YouTube from hitting 1,000, which means we will be able to monetize our YouTube. And for the giveaway item that you will be entered in if you're a subscriber, or if you share and like the Twitter post that is having to do with it, you can win one of these bad boys in the clan of your choosing. Whichever clan you want, they will make that up for you and send it out, because Dogmite is amazing. And yeah, it's time at this point to introduce our vampires. Let's start with Joanna.
Hello, my name is Joanna. My pronouns are she, her, and this evening I will be playing Abigail for you, the techie Tremere, who is oh so excited to be dealing with the Second Inquisition again. Yay!
She's saying she's excited. She sounds excited, but I don't think that's excitement. And Prince.
Hello everyone, I'm Prince, also known as Dimples and Dice around the internet, pronouns he, him, and I am playing Jacado, the Seneschal, an apparently harbinger of the doom or savior of the world. Yeah, that's a lot. Uh, Fuck the Second Inquisition though.
And Mike.
Sorry, had a siren going off in the background. Hi, I'm Mike, and I will be playing the role of Mordecai, everyone's favorite Toreador and influencer. Save the Assamite, save the world? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say, or is it save the world or is it doom the world? I don't know. It's up in the air.
Kill the prince, save the Assamite.
That's a bit of a list. And Sarah.
Hello, my name is Sara, and I'll be playing Prince Jude Duncan of Clan Tremere, she, her for both of us. You can try to kill the prince, but an Assamite is protecting me, so best of luck to you, sir. And the Second Inquisition, this is all just too much deja vu for Jude. Does not like it one bit.
And last but certainly not least, Cliff.
Happy Time Zone viewers. My name is Cliff. This evening I will be playing Duran Giovanni. And if there is any killing of the prince, I will turn this coterie around and take us all back home. Got it?
No, good. Duran, we want to go to Disney World. Come on.
Oh, no, not if there's killing of the prince. No, no. Excuse me, I have to put Queen on in the radio and crank it up really loud.
All right. And when last we saw our intrepid coterie, they were traveling to visit Chauncey and the changelings, which seem to have all left the city of Vancouver. Turns out there's some weird shit going on. There's some bad attacks and stuff like that. So the changelings decided it was time for a bit of a tactical retreat. But they informed the prince and the coterie that if they needed the changelings' help, that they could give a call or a message and they would pop over. Sorry, folks, slight technical glitch there. So when they were leaving the meeting with Chauncey and where the changelings were supposed to be, there was some interesting stuff that happened with the Second Inquisition. So they basically, there was gunfire and there was potential snipers and stuff like that. If you want, go over to our YouTube and check out that episode to see precisely what happened. But at the end of the episode, I believe Ja and Jude were staying in the basement of Sandwich, and Abigail had gone back to the Tremere Chantry. Mordecai had gone back to his mansion. Duran had returned to his shop, or his place of residence, which is near the shop. So this one, we're going to start off in the next night. So let's get some rouse checks from everybody, and you can roll a rouse check for your own selves over there in the chat. That's a thumbs down from Prince Jude, thumbs up from Abigail, thumbs up for Duran, thumbs down for Ja, and thumbs down for Mordecai. So, you know what Meatloaf says, 2 out of 5 ain't bad. Is that what he said? No, I can't remember. Okay, so Jude, you're the first one of this particular gaggle of kindred that would be waking up. So what you hear is, hey, you should probably, I don't know, eat someone or something.
Not as easy as it was before to just go out and do.
I mean, it's probably easier. You could just get like Elysium to bring you a human or something, and then you could eat them.
Yeah. So it seems like it's happening again. Got any advice?
Keep your head down.
Hard to do that in my position at this point.
Yeah, probably. And that's
helpful as always. Thank you so much, Raya.
That's the last you hear about that. So, Jude, a little while later, you would hear, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to eat someone. This is getting kind of ridiculous. I don't know why you're not eating.
Jude hears that?
Or Ja, sorry.
Okay.
I literally just finished off a person last night.
Yeah.
Hole in chest, just made sure that was the end of him.
Now I'm back here though with these group of people behind me, and you know, clearly that didn't work out too well for you. So you're probably just
So,
gonna have to eat somebody else.
Remember when our friend Duran Giovanni was talking about Pokemon Go? Well, I started to mess around in that game, and I realized that in my head, my beast is trying to be the ultimate Pokemon master because you're trying to catch them all. And I don't give a shit about Pokemon.
Don't you though?
Fuck off. I don't have time for this tonight.
And Mordecai, what you hear is Mordecai.
Neff? Oh, no, you're not here.
It's time.
When are you getting here, Neff?
It's time for you to prepare.
I know, but they're not ready.
Oh, they're ready.
They'll probably die.
Probably.
Oh well. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, I guess. I'll head downstairs. Check in with Alexia, check in with Mercy and Diana. Say his now habitual good morning or good evening to the snakes.
They're indifferent.
Of course they are. And down to the letting room and partake to top himself down. This will have to do. Still in there?
You get no response.
Good talk.
But you do realize that the date of their quote unquote arrival will be soon.
I know.
And let's flip over to
So excited.
Abigail, who would be the other person other than Jude who would wake up semi-early.
Abigail would have welcomed Kevin in late the previous evening and would have directed Kevin to her previous haven and set him up there. And then once waking up would have started, going through some books and getting more information about the Second Inquisition, the Society of St. Leopold, because although she's gone through it all before, she needs some leverage. She needs to get these fuckers out of the city.
Kevin
what
brought a
she's thinking.
lot of stuff. Like there's crates of computer equipment, and you're not going to have to pay the heating bill for a while, but you're going to definitely have to pay the electrical bill. There's a lot more than what you usually would pay.
Well, Abigail's been, working some overtime. Boss gave her a raise, finally decided to pay her American money instead of Canadian money. So, that works. So she's probably going to be okay with paying the electrical bill. But yeah.
Yeah. So is there any communication with the rest of the coterie?
Abigail's going to send just a text message saying, where to tonight? Question mark, smiley face.
And Jude would be the only one who would be technically awake at that particular point in time to respond.
I'm just imagining that Jude is like awake and like getting ready and stuff. Jaw is just like motionless, still asleep. That's just very funny to me. So Abigail or Jude texts back the group chat after seeing Abigail's text and says, meet at Sandwich ASAP.
Abigail text back saying, sounds good. Do you need me to bring anything?
Jude texts back. Not that I can think of, but if you have an idea, go for it.
Abigail
Swipe drop.
says, change of clothes, question mark. And that's actually private to Jude, as opposed, this part is private to Jude as opposed to the group. Just change of clothes, question mark.
Oh, so yeah. Jude does say, yeah, if you could bring my just like my black tank top. And she actually asked Abigail to go into her, like wherever her clothes are kept in the chantry dresser or whatever, and she has a black wool shawl that has like no sleeves and it's got like a fringe on the bottom, so she specifically asked for that as well as the black tank top.
Okay, Abigail will find that in Jude's room and kind of fold it up nicely, stick it in her backpack, and head out.
Okay. So from there, actually, as a quick storyteller note aside, what do you have your phone on, like silent, or is it on vibrate?
Ja's phone is always on silent
Okay.
because he doesn't care for having a phone at all, and thus whenever, like, he only uses it when absolutely he needs to. So when he wakes up at night, he looks to see if there's jobs, checks the police alerts, and checks the coterie stuff. But since he's here with Jude, he probably won't even check his phone.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if it was like Jude texting in the basement and then hearing like from Ja's phone. Like, so let's flip over to Duran. We haven't touched base with Duran yet this particular episode. So upon your waking up, the books are laid out as per request. Things seem to be going okay.
Excellent. Well, except okay. I'll probably spend a little time working with various spirits, and then it'll be, time to start looking through the wardrobe to go, tonight I think a Hugo Boss, and oh wait, I should check and see what we got going on. Oh,
So you
the basement of Sandwich.
Yeah.
Reska, where is that older sport jacket that I've got that I don't care so much about because I'm going into the pit of despair? Dust, grime, soot.
It's right here, sir.
Ah, bueno. I will wear this tonight. I don't have to look fantastic, and we're meeting in the basement of the Sandwich.
So
okay, and I will grab my hat and saunter toward Sandwich.
And Mordecai, we've already gone through kind of your waking up routine. When you get the messages, what do you do from there?
Depends on what point. I mean, I guess I would get the messages as soon as I wake up.
Yeah.
So he would go through his customary thing of ignoring them. And then going about his regular business stuff, going down to the dojo, refining his strength and newfound potence powers, and then kind of trying to do some sort of like an abstract sculpture of a bunch of, I don't know, twisted rebar all twisted together, and he's sort of braiding them as he goes. And then, supplication down his knees, prayers to set, inner peace, inner peace, inner peace, looks down, picks up the phone, reads the messages, rolls his eyes, inner peace, audible sigh, stands up, finds Mercy and heads out.
Okay. And generally around that point is when Ja would wake up.
And Ja just gets up like, okay, we have business.
Yeah. Um Everything okay with you sleeping here and stuff?
You didn't stake me or kill me, so yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, what wasn't even on my mind, but sure. Um
I was hoping not. That was me thanking you in a way, I suppose.
okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So, yeah, we obviously have many things to hash out here. I
Yes,
know
we need
that
to shut the city down.
that's what I figured was coming.
Ja grabs his phone and just crushes it in his hands. We don't use
I
these
feel like you could have
anymore.
waited a little bit to do that.
No, when a decision is made, we need to go through with it. You obviously have the final call, but we can't use these. We can't use. We have to go back old school.
I know you're right. I know there's no way to get around that really. Um Storyteller,
Yes.
where's Gretchen?
Gretchen is upstairs, but
So
you
Gretchen,
you don't know that
okay.
yet.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. So
But she generally, like on a day-to-day
I mean,
basis, heads over
I
to the
would
shop.
say
Yeah.
this that there is cameras. Ja would have definitely got cameras installed.
Okay.
So
okay,
you
yeah.
could see Gretchen on like a little console. I would absolutely, if that cost me my 3 XP to put into Haven, I would absolutely do security.
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a jerk when it comes to storytelling.
Because that's like one of the things that John did when he first got here was made sure the place is secure. You can't
Yeah.
do wards, but like everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jude would definitely see that Gretchen is upstairs, like just puttering around, like doing the books, and like she's walking around with like a clipboard, kind of writing stuff down, making it like kind of doing an inventory type thing.
Totally. So Jude's like watching her on the console and looks over at Ja, and she's like, "We're gonna have to clue her in. Any suggestions on what to do with her? Just have her around as close to me while we're locked down."
Yeah. Hmm. Can you control her?
Yes.
Then probably lock her up in a chantry. Give her a gargoyle to read bedtime stories to or something.
Huh. Isn't the worst idea. Probably keep her entertained. But yeah, so she'll probably have to go to yeah, I think going to the chantry is probably the best idea for her. Um, my only thing is if we lock down, like how are we gonna figure out anything what the fuck is going on here?
Well, we still have people to investigate.
So what am I doing? I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs?
Yes. Did you not volunteer for this when you became
Yes.
prince? Did we not warn you that this might be the
Yes.
case?
I fully understand. I fully get it. It's just not my favorite thing, and that's okay. I have to come to terms with that. That's on me. So, um yeah. I guess we'll just let everybody know when they get here, and then we can figure out how we're proceeding. I just want the city to be safe. I know we share that goal.
Yes. Honestly, I want you to be safe, and then the city to be safe.
And Jude, I think, like, looks very fondly at Jaw and is just kind of like, yeah, I guess it is important that I stay safe. So
What
thank you.
purpose would it serve for you to be doing this if you can't change things? You have to make it out alive.
Yeah, it feels like I'm never going to change anything if we keep going from crisis to crisis.
Well, welcome to being a vampire.
Yeah, the metaphorical and literal fires are always going to be there, I guess.
Always.
All right.
I
Well,
will stand in front of as many as I can, but I can't keep you from all of them. I apologize if I was a little brush or rude by throwing you into a vehicle.
that's not important right now. It's completely fine. I understand that you're doing your job. You're keeping me safe. I understand that I can't be out there throwing hands every time I want to now. Um
Honestly,
so
I
it
love to
may
see it, but that's not the game anymore.
yeah, I might have to really like get into Mordecai's dojo, like in some kind of underground tunnel. He can just like smuggle me into the mansion. I beat some people up. I go back. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of wannabe UFC fighters who will be like, yeah, I'll square up with a woman, and then.
Exactly. So funny. So satisfying. All right.
How do you
Well,
think the
anything we
others
should
are
do
going to
before we
take
get here?
this? We need to start arranging for another Elysium.
Okay. All right. So, storyteller, I think that would mean that I'm like contacting Frank. I guess I'm not 100% sure on the like logistics of like, okay, we're doing an Elysium now. Like I'm not sure how the word gets spread.
In general, you'd probably just let a bunch of people know in the vampire community, and then they would all show up at the Elysium type thing. You should probably have a herald.
I didn't think about that, but possible. I mean, yeah, that would help in this instance, but alas. Um so I guess Jude just like goes through her contacts and through her most secure encrypted messaging channels
Okay.
To start,
Letting people know.
yeah, like the Primogen probably is the first, and
Okay.
Frank. And I think she would text Mordecai and say, like, is there a way you can help get the word out about Elysium?
Mordecai is in his limo on the way there right now, so we're gonna bounce to that in a couple of seconds. Duran would probably be showing up at this particular point in time.
Okay, so stroll into Sandwich, and they're both downstairs. So who's upstairs?
Gretchen is upstairs.
Oh, excellent. As I walk in, just Buonasera, Gretchen. Ah, have you read Easy Street the Hard Way? I just got the copy.
No.
It's Ron Perlman's memoirs.
Oh.
I will loan it to you when I am done. It looks really good. It's about him growing up in Washington Heights in the first few years in Hollywood.
Really?
Apparently, and it wasn't ghostwritten. It was done by Senor Perlman himself.
Really? Like he didn't have any like help or
No.
like forward by anybody or anything
technically
like
he is also a published author among all the other laudits that he wears.
Yeah, but that's fair.
See. So when I am done, I will drop it off here for you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Oh, It is no problem at all. People are downstairs in the pit.
I think 2 of them are still down there. I don't
Bueno.
know. I don't have the
I will go kick on the table. Grazie.
no problem.
And then I will go, and I'm going to guess that the stairwell's up, so I'm going to have to bang on the table.
Is there a doorbell that Ja installed or anything of the along those lines?
No, because Ja's
Okay,
not
yeah.
expecting anyone to actually come down here except for coterie. So no, absolutely not.
I demand one playing Ride of the Valkyries. Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
So I assume that I hear the
There's
banging on the table.
Yeah, like if Duran is like really putting his shoulder into it, you can kind of sort of hear a little bit like banging, but there's like stone in between him and what you guys are hearing.
Okay, so
It's
I'll
a very faint, like you hear like a very faint knocking.
Well, I could have probably viewed
And yeah, the view.
Duran coming toward there with the
Yeah.
cameras installed. Okay, so I'll just view that and look at John and say, all right, Duran's here. I'm gonna let him down and pull the lever. Crunk.
Do the thing.
The stairs go down for Duran.
Fantastico. I'm going to stroll down. Buona serata. How are they? Well, I guess it's half of the Sunrise Appreciation League and book club.
I'm behind on my chapters, I admit.
Oh, I just got the brand new book. I'm going to suggest it to the book club. It is called Easy Street, the Hard Way. Kind of the title of our lives, I think.
I was just about to say that's pretty accurate.
It was written by Ron Perlman.
Oh, you told Gretchen about it, I hope.
Oh, see, naturally.
Oh, fantastic.
I will make sure that I loan her my copy when I am done.
Maybe we should stock it in the store.
Yeah.
I feel
that might be an idea. And every now and then he has tweeted about it. So I bet you we could stock it in the store and see about having him come in to do a signing. I think that would cause Gretchen such paroxysms of complete and utter. I expect every muscle to lock up and her to completely forget she doesn't have to breathe.
Yeah, I would very much enjoy to see her reaction to him walking into Sandwich and just sitting down for a book signing. That would be great as a treat after all this is over.
I would do it before then because all of this is never going to be over.
Yeah.
It is so wonderful the way that you innocently believe that there will one day be an end to this game and we can all put our feet up and relax and have a drink of whatever while we watch the end credits roll and say, right, now let's get on with enjoying our lives. But no, that is not the way it happens. We get to die every morning and resurrect the following night to find out that the game is not won and just continues on in a very aggravating and frustrating manner. And we just do what we can to, make it as enjoyable as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I'll just have to learn to enjoy the little things and the little moments.
I thought that would be motivational today.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. We should put some of my words on a big poster, put it up on one of these walls because God, it needs something done here. I would say 15 liters of gasoline in a match, but there do seem to be some things down here that have sentimental value to some of us. And I think there is already enough soot in here to create something. I was going to say a soot monster, but I'm not able to do that.
It's at that point that Abigail would be showing up.
And so Abigail would have basically, when she walks in, she says, "Hello, Gretchen. How's it going?"
Good. Yeah, they're all downstairs.
How are you, though? Did you rest well last night? Did you stay here at the chantry? Because I didn't see you.
I was at the chantry.
Good, good. It's safe there.
Yeah,
Everything's okay up here, though?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Business seems to be doing fairly well.
Well, that's definitely good. At least something's, steady and all that. All right. Well, I'll leave you to your thing. I will go down that stairs and see them. Did they leave the door open, storyteller?
Did they? I didn't hear anybody say they were putting the stairs back up when Duran
mean,
went downstairs.
I feel like it would be. Would it not be logical to think
I
everyone
imagine
else is
that
going to show
Ja's
up?
paranoia is on high.
Yeah,
and
the stairs would have.
absolutely-
Yeah, the stairs are back up.
there's no way. I
All right, so
cannot
this-
imagine.
Abigail pulls out her key and
Oh yeah, that's right.
opens the stairwell.
Josh
or
sword
the
in
stairs.
hands, like looking at the camera. Oh, okay.
If
fine.
you locked it, who else would have access, Jaw?
I don't know.
All
but it
right,
pays
all
to
right,
be
fair.
careful. You live longer when you're careful.
Well, good evening, all. How's everybody doing?
Bueno, será.
Jude, and Abigail pulls out of her backpack. She just pulls out. She has like a little paper bag that she's put Jude's change of clothes in. This is for you, and she hands it over to Jude.
Jude takes the bag, and is there anywhere for like Jude to change in private down here?
Down there, I don't think anything's cordoned off yet. But
Okay.
upstairs, there'd be like the back room and like employee washroom, stuff like that.
Okay, so I think Jude is gonna be like, is it cool if I just go upstairs to change real quick? Like, is that acceptable?
Absolutely.
You have a whelp, and if she doesn't die before you, then it's her fault. I'm watching the cameras.
Okay, so Jude is going to go to, like you said, the employee washroom with the bag of clothes and change.
As soon as you disappear in the back room, that'd probably be when Mordecai shows up. And more tech glitches. Okay, so Mordecai was just showing up to Sandwich after Jude went into the back employee area to change, and Mordecai sees Gretchen there doing inventory-ish stuff.
Make sure I'm not actually muted this time. Walks in. Gretchen. Has Jude mentioned to you how impressed she is with the work that you've been doing here?
A bit, yeah, occasionally. Like I'm helping out with the research into like Bailey, whoever that is.
Don't get too deep into those weeds. I mean, I know you have your particular likes and such. This is not a. It's kind of like degrees of gross. But I may have a thing. I will let you know. I have a contact that let me know movings and shakings of certain things and certain investments in the city. And one of the investments I have, long story short, it's a company. It's an animation studio, and it just so happens that it's been filming a particular movie called. It's not really that important. Golden Masks, I don't know, something.
Wait,
But,
that's hold on. That's Ron Perlman's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's doing a voice in that.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they just finished. They wrapped their filming. They're just about to enter post. So I mean,
I don't even know.
I don't want to promise anything. Let me see what I can do.
I don't even know like how does that work in post? Because when you're like filming on a set, then you're like, okay, we're gonna wrap. But does that mean that they're like done the voices and stuff, or does it mean
Well, they're
they're
mostly
like
done the voices, but you can always
done
have
the
someone come in
animation?
and re-record if you need to.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Huh. All right, yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
Ooh. Wait a minute. You mean you want to bring Ron Perlman here?
I make no promises. I can't. I don't know if I have the clout necessary just by waving money at the company. I don't know. I will see what I can do.
That'd be so great.
I can't promise anything.
Well, yeah, okay. Maybe you can't really promise anything.
No, exactly. I don't know how much they may already be done. Ron Perlman stuff might already be completely recorded. Everything could be just already wrapped and tickety boo, or the company might accidentally delete or lose some recording bits, and they may have to bring him in to do it. They may just arrange for him to record down in LA or wherever he is. I don't know. Who knows? He might have some personal time coming. I don't want to promise anything, so I will
Yeah.
I will see what I can do for you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. That'd be great.
Anything I can do.
She's like vibrating through the store at this point. Like,
And then stroll very calmly and sort of relaxedly, unhurriedly. I assume the stairs are up
the stairs would be up, yeah.
and it's concrete.
It's concrete underneath, and there's like the kind of like ancient wood of the table.
How much of a shit do I want to be? I gotta rouse potence.
Is Jude coming
Punch
out
my
of
way
the
through the
out of
floor.
the bathroom right now while Mordecai is standing at the top of the stairs?
Yeah, at this point you'd probably be just finishing up, and then you probably like have your own space or whatever in the back room to store spare clothing, etc.
Definitely staring at it with an intent to possibly rouse his potence and punch his way through the floor.
So Jude just walks up and goes, Mordecai,
Jude.
you ready to go downstairs?
I mean, I was going to go down one way or the other, but if you have a key, that makes things awfully fast.
I do, right?
you don't have
I
a
like
key?
can't remember for some reason. Okay,
Yeah, we
great.
both have a key.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew-
you both have a key, and Ja has a key as well.
Okay, cool.
Well,
So yeah, she looks at Mordecai quizzically for a second and then does the key to get the stairs and goes down.
Yeah, the
very
stairs
inaudibly,
lower.
almost inaudibly, as he go down the stairs, Mordecai is humming Highway to Hell by AC/DC.
And then once everyone is downstairs, I'm assuming Ja is positioned there to put the stairs back up.
About time you showed up. How you feeling, buddy?
Perplexed and at the same time excited.
Why in the hell would you be excited?
I have family coming.
Is now a good time for that?
Well, I mean, it's not like anyone's going to stop them.
Fair.
I mean, I'm assuming you have the resources and taken precaution to make sure they'll be safe while all of this is
Absolutely.
unfolding. Okay.
Nothing but the best for my family.
And it's just a reunion, a social thing, or
Who knows? Business venture. I haven't talked to their sires directly. Some of them might put down roots. Who knows?
Interesting.
You have my
Well,
word that they will all follow protocol.
I should hope so. Maybe I can meet them.
Oh, you absolutely will meet them. That is part
Good.
of the traditions.
Indeed. Well, I'll wish them safe travels. So, now that we're all here, based on what happened last night, the very I mean, for me it was a little bit scary, but mainly just gives me a lot of questions. uh John and I were discussing, I think we should lock down the city, so no new visitors, except I guess Mordecai's family that's already kind of like on the way. I don't So no new visitors and like no large kindred gatherings, and just unraveling the Bali stuff along with figuring out how we've been directly targeted at this point. And I know I'm not going to be able to be out there investigating and on the front line, so to speak. I want everyone to understand that I get that. I'm not going to be able to be out there. I'm just going to have to sort of quarterback the investigation. And we're calling another Elysium. I've already put the word out to the Primogens, so there can be an understanding as a city of the new threats that are looming. I'm assuming nothing has happened to any of you like strange between last night and now.
I mean, no stranger than normal.
I tend
There
not to
doesn't-
put a lot of stock in prophecy.
There doesn't seem to be anything strange that's happened between then and now, but then again, it's only been about 12 hours.
And there's been nothing like on my news feed like about something happening in the city, like local news about any disturbances, major things.
Suspiciously absent.
So no, like no news.
There's been nothing that has popped up about that particular thing. You do get a text though, just as you're kind of pondering about that, you're like kind of searching through. It's from Victor Davenport.
Okay.
Took care of that incident last night. Media doesn't have a clue.
And Jude will text back, very much appreciate it. Thank you.
And you get a text from Cassius.
Okay.
At some point this evening, I would like to give you a report on some interesting findings that have come up.
So Jude will text back, yes, I'm looking forward to hearing this report. We are calling another. I feel weird because I know that like we're not supposed to be saying like kindred words in text, so like it's really freaking me out now to use any of them in a text message.
Well, to be fair though, like these particular phones, are secure.
That's true. Abigail hooked us up.
Yeah, Abigail's not only had them delivered specifically from somebody who she knows can encrypt the bucket of things, but she also worked them over with technomagic as well.
Okay. All right. So then she said, okay, in that case, I guess it would be fine. So she would just say, yes, I'm looking forward to hearing the report. We're calling another Elysium, so come there tonight.
Sure.
Laissez-faire as always. So Jude will, after like going through those things on her phone, she'll look back up and just be like, all right, so Victor Davenport took care of the media from last night. He just informed me that. And then Cassius apparently has a report on findings for the investigation. So he's going to debrief us later tonight at the art gallery.
That sounds fair.
And that should be the last large gathering of kindred we have until this is all settled.
Yeah.
We do not want to all be in one place. I figure you
Well-
would be familiar with buildings getting blown up.
Well, yes, I do think that one final gathering should take place, and that
Yes.
gathering should be getting a gathering of kindred together to take out these assholes who have been trying to kill us. And by that I mean the SI, the Second Inquisition, the Society of St. Leopold, whatever the fuck they are calling themselves these days. I am done. I would like them gone. They have infected the city. They're like a parasite, and I'd like them dealt with. So I am personally offering myself up to help in any way I can and join that group to take them out. But I think there needs to be something done about that. I am quite pissed.
I don't know if we take a small army at them. I don't think that's the best way to handle Inquisitors.
Where are
Not
they?
I mean,
necessarily-
but still, go ahead.
Not necessarily a small army, just a group that knows what they're doing. A precision scalpel, shall we say.
I was actually going to say a task
Agreed.
force where it's a specialized group. And I don't know about, I mean, I don't necessarily have a ton of experience opposing the Second Inquisition, so to speak, but it seems to me that if we could some way get the element of surprise, I feel like that would offer up a huge advantage in regards to sending a task force. So Mordecai, Duran, I understand that that the lockdown is not necessarily good for business. So I'm planning on keeping it, you know, as short as possible and dealing with things as efficiently as possible. So you know, your dealings will not be affected in that way.
Where are they?
Second Inquisition. Oh, they could be anywhere at this point. I mean, they've been in North Vancouver. They've been obviously taking shots at us downtown. So at this point, I'm not even sure where they are. It's something that
We
needs
need
to be
intel.
investigated. Yes, exactly.
Squishing a couple of cockroaches is not going to get rid of the cockroaches. It's just going to
No,
kill
that's
people.
why I'm
Right.
suggesting a precision scalpel to get rid of them and get rid of
We
them.
don't even know where they are.
Well, that's why we need a task force and a precision scalpel, because we need to actually gather intel, find out where they are, get rid of them for good. Because, I mean, they have been experimenting on kindred. They've been experimenting on kindred. They've been making some very, very strange drugs. From the last time that I had a lab check anything from the Second Inquisition, it was things like giving them kindred powers. I mean, at least when they're mortal, we have a chance. Once they start getting kindred powers, that's not something I want to be dealing with.
So I will devote my, you know, since I'm not able to go out and I will have to be secured in that way, but I'm willing to do whatever behind the scenes to gather intel and to send the right people out to get the Nosferatu on it. To mine, like Abigail said, we have this experience with them experimenting in that lab and we saved that gangrel and stuff, like, so we can mine that experience for information. We can look back on that and see if anything can be gleaned from what we remember there. I feel like that's a decent place to start. And, talk to the other Primogen. Like, what have their experiences been? Like, I don't know what their experiences are. So at Elysium, I can just basically call everyone together and say, listen, we're all in danger. They definitely know who they are, and they're creeping very close at this point. So it's everybody's ass on the line. So it's time for everyone to get in gear to help solve this. There's not going to be any like people going off to do things. Like, I think that's the purpose of the lockdown, to say, all right, it's everybody's head down all together to sort this out as forcefully as we can against the Second Inquisition.
You know what you're going to spend your time doing is constantly reassuring and convincing them to listen.
I can do that.
I hate it.
Then let me do the talking, and you can stand there menacingly to further the point across.
Tell the Toreador that they can't have parties. I can feel my brain exploding right now.
So you're
They're
going to
gonna
be
have-
coordinating.
Excuse me?
Jude's going to be coordinating. Ja, I assume you'll be field agenting.
I want to. But that's not my choice.
Comes home to roost now. So what about...
Oh yeah, we're gonna toss her to a gargoyle.
To do
Wait.
what?
Read books or something.
So you're going to imprison her in the chantry?
I mean, it's not really.
In most blunt terms, yes.
That seems very like. I
It's
don't know.
like-
I'm just gonna say stay here for a while because you need to be safe. I mean, she's already been there. It's not like I'm like go to some safe house with no walls and no windows and lie on the floor so a sniper doesn't shoot you. Like, it's not that. It's just like stay in the chantry, continue to research, continue to learn, just do what you've been doing, but you just have to stay here for a while. I don't really think that that is an unreasonable ask of her, nor do I find that to be imprisonment.
She'll be fine.
I was
She's
gonna say, I could think of worse things, but
Oh yeah, absolutely.
being trapped in a house full of Tremere, that'd be like one of those reality TV shows that is destined to go horribly, horribly wrong.
I mean, she'll go and she'll play some D&D. It'll be fine.
Doesn't seem
They'll
like there's
have
a
some
lot of
sort of
consent
epic
there, though.
campaign. Sorry?
It's one thing to voluntarily go into a place and sit there and do your research like a public library. It's another place entirely to be held there against one's will.
Why do you give a shit about what's going on with Gretchen?
Because consent is key, and you, of all people, both of you, Tremere, have had really shitty things happen to you because you didn't have consent.
Understood. But if we tell Gretchen what is going on and explain
Let her make
to
her own decisions.
well, fine, let her make her own decisions. I very much
Not
doubt
my
she's
call
going
to
to want to
make.
stay here and get shot at.
I'm like so confused because the whole reason Gretchen is my child is because
She
of
was
a
attacked by the
situation where-
Sabbat and we saved her life.
right, but she was like walking outside and getting, like there was the liability there. So it's very it's odd for me to see you kind of switch gears and be like, oh, well, you need her consent to do this rather than just tell her what to do and make her go on her way and tell her what to do because she's your responsibility and she's a liability. Like listen, I'm not gonna like roll her brain into being there, I'll just say, hey, like, I'm trying to protect you, and this is what we're doing. If you don't like that, then
Not my
okay.
call to make.
No.
Long story short, we can deal with that later. It's honestly, it
Gretchen
can be
will be
dealt with
fine.
later. Gretchen will make up her mind. Gretchen and Jude will talk. Jude is her sire, so this is a decision between the two of them. Let's leave ourselves out of it. It is not our place.
Conversation.
Exactly. It is not our place.
Don't call me mommy. Like, no. Ugh. Okay, so the lockdown. I mean, anyone else have thoughts on the general safety of Vancouver, things we can do, concerns before we head out?
The sooner we get it done, the better. That's my only thought on it. I mean,
Miguel, I have a question for you.
mm-hmm.
Could you hack your phone?
Did I? Sorry, what?
Could you hack your phone?
Could I hack my phone?
Yes.
Well, no, actually, you know what? Probably not. To be perfectly honest with you, that encryption algorithm is beyond even me. Kevin did that on purpose. He is beyond me. Sorry?
Could Kevin do it?
Could Kevin hack the phone?
Yes.
Probably not, actually.
Nope. That's way above his pay grade.
At this point, probably not. Not after everything that we've done to basically layer upon layer. I don't even think Kevin could hack the phone.
Personally, I'm refusing to use phone, laptop, any of that shit. I don't trust it.
Well,
do as you do.
I mean, that's your prerogative. And I mean, if I were in your place and I wasn't necessarily familiar with the algorithm that's been used or with the process that's been used, I would be probably doubtful as well. If you wish, if you are open to it, I can set up a meeting between yourself, and Kevin can go through the process of the algorithm that was used, the encryption algorithm, and then I can tell you what blood sorcery was used. So, I mean, we can do both.
A bunch of shit that I will absolutely not understand.
And that is why I understand that you would be hesitant. If you didn't understand it, you might be hesitant.
It is.
Especially if you don't trust me or you don't trust Kevin.
Couriers. It is not about a trust thing. It is, I don't trust the Second Inquisition, and if Kevin can get his hands on this sort of technology or algorithm, then so can they.
He wrote the algorithm. Fair. I mean, again, up to you entirely.
Using our powers now, who's to say that they can't use dominate on Kevin?
I mean, that's fair. If they're able to use our powers, if they were actually able to get up to a level that they would be able to dominate Kevin, then entirely possible. But Kevin only has part of the equation. They would have to basically deal with both of us at the same time. But again, I 100% understand that this is not, that you don't trust the Second Inquisition. This is not something that I take personally. So
this isn't about you.
Exactly. So, I mean, that is, as I said, if you do not wish to use the phones, if you wish to use couriers instead, that is up to you. Let us know how you want to communicate and we'll abide.
Ja, in your would any of your law enforcement contacts be useful in this situation, do you think?
For what purpose?
I don't know. I mean, the Second Inquisition, to my understanding, you know, it's like federal agents, and you know, local law enforcement sometimes has communications with federal agents depending on what's going on in their particular locale. So I didn't know if there was like some way to mine a connection there. That's all. To get eyes on the operation.
If they've been following us in specific, then they know that we have police contacts, which means they won't trust the police. At least that's my guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't trust the police. I don't trust the police at all.
Oh, I
And
don't
I have
either.
them under my thumb.
Right. I'm not saying trust them. I guess I just am like, is there some way to exploit your connection to the law enforcement for our own gain and protection?
Able to get a little heads up if they coordinate anything with a federal agency, but I doubt it. I really do.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Especially if this is being ran by the church end of the Second Inquisition. I don't know anything about the churches here.
I don't either. That's never really been my wheelhouse, to be honest with you. But the two questions remain for me. How did they know we were going to be there on that night, the Second Inquisition? And then how did the other mysterious walkie-talkie guy know that we were going to be there, that the Second Inquisition was going to accost us, and then to step in to protect? Like, that's a lot of bridges to cross, a lot of like connections to make. So I'm just confused. I'm trying to figure out where the intel is coming from.
It's
yeah,
either
well,
a snitch.
Yeah, a snitch.
Or
video surveillance.
Yeah.
They've been watching us for some time. They know our patterns.
Exactly. But I'm still leaning towards an inside man.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, they came after we had gone down to meet Chauncey, correct? In the time that we went down to meet Chauncey, if they had seen us on video surveillance around the convention center, which, you know, in hindsight, I probably should have tried to do something about the video surveillance around there, but it is a bit of a large net of surveillance to turn off. But if they would have had probably enough time to move into place if they were already in the area. Because we were down talking to Chauncey for a little while, and we didn't see them until we came back up. So it's entirely possible that, yes, Mordecai's right, it's video surveillance.
Okay. Duran, is there any way that the family can help us in this situation?
I will ask.
I'm just trying to pool all the resources together at this point. So
see,
anything that might be helpful from them would be greatly appreciated.
Do we have a timeline
Well,
on these visions that everyone seems to be having? When did they start?
Not so much. That's a great question.
That would actually help us with regards to potentially who they're watching, why Jaw was targeted specifically in the window that it was. And if we know that the visions have only existed for X amount of time, but the SI has been in the city for months, it means that we've been watched for that time and not necessarily for specific. Otherwise, they would know they knew exactly where to go and how to get him.
Right.
I have a suggestion, but I don't think you'll like it.
Try me.
Do we know any Thin Bloods, or Duskborn as they like to be called?
I haven't met any so far in the city, but it's my understanding that there are some around.
We need bait.
I
You think we should
Interesting.
we should redshirt a Duskborn and basically befriend them and eventually have them
Oh,
shot,
I'm not
captured, or
saying we
killed?
had anything to do with it, but we need to make it so that they break the masquerade because they don't have a choice, and get the attention of the Second Inquisition, lead them somewhere so we can further capture their movements. Because if they find someone who's obviously doing something, they will go after it. They're fervent, especially if they're the religious types.
Storyteller. I know that a lot of our in character movements have been kind of like in real time, like night
Yeah.
by night. But was there at any point, like at an Elysium, that there were Thin Bloods that showed up? Since I kind of was like, I'm cool with Thin Bloods. I'm a cool prince.
Regardless of what Jude would actually say, the Thin Bloods wouldn't trust anything with a large C in front of it.
Yeah, they're all down with Joe. Or
Yeah, they're all kind of
Yeah, that's what I figured.
mostly
Vincent.
Vincent.
restricting themselves to non-Camarilla-ish territories
Also probably Joe.
because they've been kind of hit
Okay.
with the whole, hey, come on in. We like you. We're Camarilla. And then, wholesale like disappearances about 15 too many times in the World of Darkness recently in North America.
So is that like, are you saying that's like a non-starter basically? That
it could be a starter.
Okay. Go ahead, Abigail.
Not if we do what I just said.
I honestly, I think this is a very, with all due respect, I think this is a very short-term thought. I mean, if you put the Thin Bloods out there as bait, and the other Thin Bloods hear about it, all those fears that everybody has about the Thin Bloods turning on the rest of the kindred, that's going to come to pass. If they think that we're mistreating them and treating them like bait, then they will come after us, and there are more of them than there are of us. So
Okay,
I don't know.
Then. Wait, no.
I don't know that it's a good idea.
I'm trying to see if I can morph this idea about bait, because I think that does kind of lend to my idea about having the element of surprise. So how to do that in a way that's like less exploitative to any one group.
I mean,
and
let's assume that you were a human vampire hunter. When would you go and hunt vampires?
At night?
No.
Early evening.
You go where they sleep.
Right.
This is where bait comes in. We cannot work on the same schedule as them. They can hunt us anytime. We can only hunt them while we're awake. Do you see the problem here? This is why I'm suggesting bait. I understand it is going to leave a bad taste in our mouths. And
the low humanity vampires all shake their head.
But setting up an anarch group to be targeted by the Camarilla doesn't seem all that bad to me if we know where they are and how they move.
Because we can't let Vincent know or he'll have a fit.
I don't give a shit about Vincent. Excuse me.
I wonder. I could contact Vincent and come up with something.
And get him to send you a 6-pack of Duskborns to wind up and see if you can draw out the
Yeah, and you know what I'll do to do that?
Play Nintendo.
I'll just no, I'll just lie.
Whoa. Here's my problem with all of this. They already know where we are. The SI.
Right.
They've already been watching us
ish.
enough to the point where they knew where we were going to be, to a location that we had not disclosed to anyone. Not our usual path.
Senor Mordecai, your limo stands out like a fucking sore thumb. We are not subtle. We had lots of
he's
time
got a
after
point.
parking to go downstairs, have a
All
chat
right,
with Chauncey,
fair.
come up. They had all the time. This is why I was embraced to do exactly this kind of shit. And I can tell you the SI is working to pattern. And I see nothing unbelievable about this. I have heard some interesting suggestions tonight. Bait, C. We don't necessarily need to use, are they only vampire hunters, or do they hunt other supernaturals as well? Perhaps if we could stir up a Pentex officer too and cause them to do strange, unusual things, that will flush the SI. See, we are going to need to do some deep digging. As for phones and laptops, just because somebody protects it doesn't mean someone else can't break it. There's always a bigger bomb. Always. I'm not going to use mine for a while. I'll go old school. It worked for us for centuries and kept us alive. So that's excellent. If you're comfortable and confident using the phone, bueno. However, do understand if I dive for shadow as soon as it attracts attention. Humans love their technology.
They really do.
We're not
And
going
Google
to
has their entire lives. It's amazing.
see, we're not going to beat them on that front. And it's a prediction. Maybe we can. I don't know. I don't know a lot about technology. I do know, however, what bullets and knives do. And I do know what darkness does, among other things.
I like the idea about other supernaturals. That's a really great point.
See, do they hunt it? Chauncey seemed to indicate that the Changeling Court was getting out of Dodge because of this stuff going on, which means they felt the threat as well.
But maybe it wasn't the hunters that they're afraid of. They're worried about our family
The
drama.
Bali bloodline.
Because
601.
I think of this way. Let's
Half a dozen of the other.
as a
So
hunter.
question.
If you have to change targets to someone who's entirely different, with a different set of moves and a different set of things that they're capable of, I'm not sure I'd quickly move from one thing to another.
We can.
Yeah, we're special.
Not that special.
There's also more than one piece on the board.
See, there are a lot of pieces.
No, even with our unique thing. We have the SI that was trying to get us, and our would-be snipers who were warning us and trying to save
This
us.
is also why the snitch thing keeps popping into my head.
Someone's tipped someone off to save us.
Or
What if they weren't saving
someone's
us?
already knows who and where the SI are operating sufficiently to follow them when they're following us, giving us that. I've seen the memes where the person is sitting in the pew and there's someone behind them with the gun to their head, and someone behind them with the gun to their head, and then there's someone behind them standing in the doorway, and then there's someone up above with it, et cetera, et cetera. See,
I'm just so proud that you used the word mean.
What if it's a case of one set of hunters, let's say the SI, trying to take us out? The other set of hunters, the ones that helped us, trying to take the SI out, not so that they can help us, but so that there's nothing obstructing them from being the ones that take us out.
okay. There you're
long
playing with
game.
the human enemy of my enemy bullshit, which means why would one group of hunters take out the second group of hunters, weakening themselves probably in the game in order to then target us directly? They would join up.
It's possible
That-
that they would join up.
No.
But why would a set of hunters help us? That's the problem that I have with this.
So
Why would a
Sniper's
set of
not a
hunters
hunter.
even help us?
See, you know they were hunters on the other side of that radio?
That's
Well, they
right.
weren't human, were they?
I don't know. I can't
we
see
don't
through a
know.
radio.
We don't know about them. That's one of the huge variables, I feel like, in this whole
Oh.
equation.
All we know is there is a voice on the radio and somebody at their command, perhaps the voice himself, used what appeared to be a 50 caliber. I use a 50 caliber.
My
And it's at that point that you hear it from the radio.
Got rid of that thing.
Are you awake yet? Over. And that's where we're going to take a bit of a break. So come on back in about 7 minutes, everybody, and go grab yourself some water. Go grab a snack, pop some popcorn, do what
Oh,
you
yeah,
need to do.
popcorn.
And we're going to have a good second half. I can already see it coming with far less tech issues. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are back for the second half of this particular episode, and for those of you just joining us, the walkie-talkie squawked to life right before the break. So, who had the walkie-talkie?
On a table.
Yeah. Abigail would have left it at the shop. She would have been the last one with it, but she left it at the shop.
Okay.
Jude takes it in her hand and then looks around at everyone, and she's like, "Shall we get some info?"
I mean, it can't hurt, I suppose, at this point.
We'll be careful, but I think we need intel, and here they are. So Jude depresses the button and says, "Yes, I'm awake. Over. What's going on? Over." Double over.
It's about damn time. Over.
No need for the rudeness. Let's help each other here. So what's going on tonight over there with you? Over.
You've got something coming for you. Over.
Yeah, no shit. Over. Kindly elaborate. I keep saying over at the wrong time. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they're kind of waiting for you to say over on the other side.
Okay, over second time.
I'm assuming you know about the Second Inquisition. Over.
Correct. Over.
Is this the same voice as it was the last night?
This is, yeah.
Okay.
We found out that they were going to be moving against your kind last night. Over.
How did you find out? Over.
We have informants. Over.
Okay. So again, appreciate the help there. But still wondering how all of these events came to pass. Um, just a bit confused on the overlapping layers, so to speak. Over.
There's a long pause, and eventually you hear back, and there's kind of a hint in the background that somebody else is there that was just about to say or just finished saying something, but then they shut up as soon as the button gets hit. Ordinarily, we wouldn't be doing this, but there's something in the future that needs to be prevented, and you are for some reason your kind are the best chance we have. Over.
What is your stake in this game? Why do you care about the future and what's going on as it relate, and how did you come to identify that we are your best hope for this, for whatever interests you have? Over.
If you don't stop the thing, there will be a lot more death than if you do stop the thing. Over.
Abigail,
And there's
before
a long pause from Jude.
before Jude answers again, Abigail just kind of pipes up and says, "Anybody else a little bit sick of this vagueness?" 'Cause I'm a
Yeah,
little sick of this
absolutely. I'm so
vagueness.
fucking tired. I'm trying to, and I don't have the button to press on the walkie-talkie here. And I'm saying, like,
Okay, yeah.
I truly don't, I don't understand. Like, they obviously need to get in touch with us because we're the linchpin to preventing more death, yet they are so reticent with the information. I really don't understand how they're expecting to get any shit done. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm so over it.
We are a tool for them. You don't have to tell a tool how it's going to be used. They're giving us the information they feel is necessary. And see, it's frustrating and you're over it. Well, then take control of the conversation and be over it.
Okay, I sort of thought I was already trying to do that, but okay.
Just ask them who they are. If they refuse to talk, then just hang up.
Okay.
They need us.
Apparently. I mean, they helped us, but they apparently say they need us. So
They didn't help us if it was selfish.
fair. I mean, you're absolutely right.
So Jude just like looks down for a second and then pushes the button back in on the walkie-talkie. It's obvious you need us. So tell me who you are and what you want. Or we have no further use for this conversation and the vagaries. Over.
Here's another long pause on that one.
That's a bold move. Let's see how it pans out.
I will not tell you who I am, but I will tell you what I am. I am what is referred to as Redeemer.
Jogging any
Yeah, any
noggin.
yeah.
This will be a hard roll for anybody who wants to do intelligence and occult.
Hey, I'm gonna try.
But this is something that has only been around since the late 90s.
I'm gonna arouse that intelligence.
Same. I passed.
I passed.
And
I did
everyone
not
else?
pass.
Abigail,
Winston, not now. Busy. I'll eat later. On the way to
we,
Elysium.
we could have used some of those types in the war. They would have been quite
Probably.
useful against the Nazis.
Sorry,
I'm
this is
sure that-
intelligence. This is intelligence and occult.
Intelligence and occult, correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, that's fine, Winston. Go away now. I'll eat. Don't worry. I promise.
Standard difficulty.
I haven't told you the difficulty yet, but yeah, it's 6 and
Excellent.
ups are the.
I would like to put
So-
out a call to the TTRPG space. If anyone can exercise from me my bad dice rolling luck, because at this point it is truly
I'm sorry.
heinous and
I-
ridiculous.
I possibly sucked it all away because I blew a willpower and okay, that did the trick. So
I literally got 1 success on 9 dice.
Is that what?
Wow.
How many, Cliff?
I
You're
only
using
rolled
7.
5.
What?
I got 4.
Okay.
This many.
Just
7.
remember, these are jazz hands. These are spirit fingers.
Duran
I'm
only
not-
does these.
I'm not burning a willpower because there's no way I will meet the difficulty even if I do. So
Ooh, willpower got 6.
Mordecai. I think you may be
Didn't
muted.
even try.
Okay.
I mean,
Fair
I got
enough.
a 9 and a 6.
Did Ja try?
Yeah, I put it in chat. I got 4 successes.
Okay. And Jude, how many did you get?
I got 1.
Redeemers could be a thing. For the sixes
Sounds
and
like
the
a baseball team to me.
yeah, the Vancouver Redeemers. For the 6s and 7s, that seems to be something that's only come up recently in occult circles, and it is a hunter faction.
But not necessarily SI is what you're saying?
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
So they
So
are
you-
eating themselves.
So Jude looks around at everyone and is like, Redeemer? Like what the fuck? Does anybody know what that is?
They are new. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has more information than I do, but it seems that they might be that they are some sort of a hunter group of some sort, an offshoot. But I don't think they're the SI. I don't think they're related. Anybody else have anything to add to that? I don't have a lot of information on that. It's very vague.
It depends on where you're standing. They're over 2 decades, which is enough to make them vintage if they were a suit.
That's
So
true. Or
as-
if they're music, I think.
See, as I no, that would make it the retro if they were music.
Like that,
Oh, right.
that Beatles
right.
song. When they saw her face.
See, but that's
Does
the-
that
They're a
mean all
Redeemer.
of the early 2000s hip hop is considered retro?
see, 20
Oh.
20 years is the mark.
I thought it was
So-
25.
That hurts
No.
me.
No, that's
20.
classic.
See,
Yeah, so Van Halen is
Okay.
classic rock.
see.
Right.
But anyways,
okay.
as I said, it's interesting that they are eating each other now. That one
What-
hunter group is indeed going after another hunter group.
Well, and if they're contacting us, it must be dire straits. I would say, right?
Not
If they're
necessarily.
hunters,
Because think about it. If
Again,
I
humans.
wanted to eliminate us, and I gave one of us a really good deal to help me out.
Oh,
What kind of deal we're talking about?
Porco Dio, yeah, we would turn on each other in a heartbeat. Not
Exactly.
necessarily within this coterie, but if somebody, say, a fictitious character named Connor came to us and said, I would like you to do this with another group, we'd probably say, sure, let us do that for you.
I mean, how much money would it take for, say, someone with a lot of money to offer to, I don't know, a Banu Hakim, say,
There's a
if you
lot of
wanted
young blokes
an
out
Anarch
there.
Baron eliminated?
I'm
They-
just saying,
They don't do money.
we don't do money.
See,
Or
So-
other forms of payment.
so it is interesting. The humans like to play this enemy of my enemy is my friend routine. Something that most supernatural races are a little more leery of.
So, does this mean that this Redeemer or a group of them in that role, they have information regarding these visions and this future where there's all this death? They have information that the Second Inquisition doesn't have, or the Second Inquisition has it and doesn't care or doesn't find it to be a significant threat? That's my question.
Yes,
Maybe the Second Inquisition thinks that they can take care of whatever the threat is themselves. I mean, they are a little bit cocky.
all of those are possibilities. And when you're dealing with the Second Inquisition, you're dealing with people who believe in a higher power, and those sorts can be a little problematic.
I mean, yeah, I grew up around them, so
See.
I hear you. What's the next move then? He's a redeemer. Great.
What does he want from us is the question.
Okay, so Jude depresses the button. What do you want from us? Over.
There's definitely another long pause. For you to prevent that thing from awakening.
Oh,
Over.
stuff waking up. Suddenly it sounds familiar to a certain head, which I'm still waiting to get back, and I would like it from Cassius. I have so many pleasant tortures to visit upon it.
Well, we're gonna see Cassius later, so follow up then.
So there is obviously also more than just the Redeemer we are talking with on the radio.
Mhm.
So, what's to stop them from killing us after we kill whatever it is that's waking up or whatever? Like, what's the point in us even helping them? We need to help ourselves anyway and stop this thing from rising. So, what the hell do they care?
They don't know that we have a stake in stopping this thing from rising. They have
That's
their
fair.
visions and their idea that we are what will counter it, prevent it, stop it. I don't know, however, to handle it. And so they are putting their plans in motion in order to, quite obviously, help protect us and support us against these Leopold people.
Should we ask for some kind of collateral?
No,
Okay,
it's not how this game is played.
fair enough.
So, what do we want then?
I was gonna say, okay, you want us to stop it. Well, we need intel. Like I don't want to necessarily give away that I don't want to imply in any way like what we know or what we're doing. I don't want to do that to this, but
They
I'm
should be
trying
telling us what they know to stop it.
exactly. So okay, I'll just ask then, what do you know about this thing waking up? And we'll see what he says.
We could sit here and listen to the radio for a while, depending on how it's done. If I could suggest, rather than saying, what do you know, let them know that we require the information you have. How would you like to get it to us? Might be
Way
verbal,
better.
it might be files, it might be DVDs, laser discs. I don't know what they use these days.
8-track.
No, wrong era.
Who knew beta was the wrong choice?
Betamax.
Honestly.
That's a great idea because we do have shit to do. So Jude will push down the walkie-talkie button once again and say, we require the information that you possess in order to proceed with stopping the threat. How would you like to get that information to us? Over.
There's definitely another long pause because they're just sighing on the other side. We can get our files to you. Over.
See,
And-
that's what you were asking.
And in the background of that, there was definitely you could definitely tell that while they're talking into the walkie-talkie, that they've kind of shooing somebody away with their other arm, kind of like a shut up, don't talk right now, I'm talking to them, don't reveal, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely, you're getting that kind of a vibe from their voice.
And how will we receive the files? Over.
Via envelope. Over.
Delivery location.
That's what I was going to ask all of you. Where do you think this should be delivered?
I would ask him where he is planning to deliver it to.
Okay.
That tells us a little more about what they know.
True. Push down the button again. Where will we get it? Over.
There we go.
Goddamn. Why did I start that? I started it. Damn it.
You hear back almost right away, sandwich. Over.
Bueno. So they are aware of this location, which I kind of sort of figured, but it's nice to have confirmation.
Any parting thoughts before I say okay, and hopefully we can be done with this for now?
When? Time. Because you probably don't want Gretchen here.
If they are delivering an envelope with files in it, and
Slide
they
it under the
know
door.
where we are and what is going on here, they probably already know that Gretchen is here. They probably know how many coins you have in the till.
Yikes. That's annoying. 3 coins. So Jude pushes down the button and says, when? Over.
Tomorrow. Over.
That's acceptable. Over. Anything else you want to tell me? Over.
Nope. Over.
This is going to be over. Over.
Uh,
How do we know they're not going to screw us over? Over.
we don't know that.
I would,
but they're
I would plan on it.
right. But so we might as well take the information while we
Oh, see,
can get it.
they're giving us at least some of their information. They may give it all to us. We're going to have to assume that what they give us is what they have. They may be holding some back. I don't know. We have no guarantees in this game.
Don't really know exactly who this thing is that's going to be awakened, but it's clearly out of their league. So they must be scared.
Agreed.
Or they wanted to kill all of us and then hope for the best at the end.
Well, I'll take the information now and we can burn that bridge when we come to it.
See,
So Jude will say, okay, understood. Over.
You assume that there's going to be a long pause and then they're going to say something, but there's no response.
So rude. Not even an over and out. Damn.
I think we should have given whatever.
Okay,
See.
well, great. That'll just be brought to the door then tomorrow, and hopefully it will assist us in some way. Shall we
Besides,
get?
they're humans. It might be delivered during the day.
Yeah. So I'll have to talk to one of the daytime employees.
Why do they normally go through your mail? Package arrives with your information on top of it like any other mail. I would assume it's put on your desk like any other mail.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Shall we head to Elysium for the Cassius report? Beepity beep 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 beepity.
I believe that's probably our best bet, unless anybody has anything else to take care of here.
No,
Unless
not
you all
me.
are gonna let us into the chantry, then yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't have anything against letting you into the chantry, but it's not my call.
It is not.
Okay, well, how do we want to get there? Should we go separate? Should we continue to travel together? Like, what's the best move there?
I would recommend that we go together. It's not that far, and breaking up separately means that if the Second Inquisition folk have pinned us down, it's easier to knock off one of us than it is to knock off 5.
Cool. So we go together then. Who's taking us? What are we doing?
I'm going to assume that there's a limo parked out front.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he had brought the limo.
Might be best to call.
When does Mordecai know? Well,
Uber
that's
XL.
that's true. Every now and
He's
then
got the
he's
other
driven
fancy
something
cars.
else. See,
Someone wrecked my Viper, so
and you can't just buy another one. What's
oh,
wrong
yeah,
with you?
it's the
This
principle
is
of the
me
thing.
playing you a song on the world's smallest violin.
I mean, we could walk,
See,
but of course we can take the limousine.
Why? Can't do a little walking, Mordecai?
If you want to walk, you're welcome to walk.
I kid.
Jaws'
not-
face
Okay.
just goes like, no, absolutely not. You see it all over him, like.
Okay, Jude hits the lever and starts to go upstairs.
Okay. Everyone else is following suit and heading towards the limo.
Humming Stairway to Heaven as I go up the stairs.
And locking up.
That's fair. So let's just fast forward it to the Elysium. You are, I'm assuming, going in through the parking elevators.
I think that's the best idea.
Once it dings to the sub-basement, there is a pile of clothing waiting there for you. Prince.
Do I know?
Not you. The other
Oh,
one.
me. Hey, Frank.
Seneschal.
Good evening. Anything out of the ordinary?
Nope. Still got that red shit in the sewers, though. That's weird.
Do you mean literal red shit? Or
Well,
something red colored in the sewers?
Yes.
You know what?
Still giving me a bit of a rash. It's weird. I didn't know we got those as vampires.
Keep that under the clothing.
Sometimes you gotta change your
Might be a new
detergent.
blood plague. I don't like it.
You gotta change your detergent.
I don't think it's a blood plague. I don't know. Nobody I've been on recently has had any complaints. Mr. Giovanni. Toreador Mordecai.
Frank.
Tremere Primogen. Anyone else in the elevator? And he like sticks his head in. Like, no? Alright, cool.
Wait, what does his head look like? Can I see it?
You cannot.
Damn it.
Just like the pile kind of where you're talking to kind of shifted.
Fine.
Slender man with a laundry pile on top of him.
Mystery.
Wow.
So, Elysium, you're calling a fancy party, I guess, to end all fancy parties? Oh, wait. Gee,
You could say that.
sorry, we're going to pause here just for a second while Sara is readjusting her headphones. Anyway, buy our merch. There's actually a sale on the merch right now. Up
Subscribe
to 30%
to our
off.
YouTube.
And subscribe to our YouTube. Let's see.
Yeah, you could win big prizes.
So a fancy party to end fancy parties is what you're saying?
Like this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say it ends. I'll let you field this one, Jude, or my prince, I should say.
If she's got her headphones back. I don't know if she does yet.
I'll just say I'm going to continue to do my job and piss everyone off.
Yeah, you do. You definitely piss people off.
I didn't come to this city to be liked. I came to get the job done.
And she's back. All right. So, there was a bit of a conversation whilst you were gone. Back and forth between Frank. He's implying that there's a fancy party to end all fancy parties.
Where?
The Elysium.
Oh. Okay. Good.
I don't know, the Toreador upstairs making shit look pretty, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm glad they have something to do. So, I'll be on my way.
All right,
Thanks for
I'm gonna
looking
go up. I'm gonna go upstairs. Keep an eye
Okay.
on shit.
Frank, has Cassius arrived yet?
Yeah, he's in the Tremere room, whatever number that is.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, I do what I can. So you making your way to the Tremere room?
Yes, I believe so.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
When you get in there, there's the whiteboard that was set up, and the equations and various symbols, etc., have expanded beyond the whiteboard because they didn't want to erase it. So it's like written above the whiteboard on the wall. There's like on the adjoining wall, there's stuff like scribbled down there. There's what you can only think is maybe a cipher, but it doesn't seem complete. It seems like there's only consonants in it. That they can't seem to figure out which ones are which vowels. Oh, yeah. Come in. We are... Well, there's been developments.
Yes, please. Let's get into it here. I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
Well, I can only assume that you know that it's kind of weird. Where we are right now in Vancouver, if we were to be in Italy right now, we'd be asleep.
Right.
For some reason, this doesn't do that.
So it transports someone to Italy, but for example, a kindred would not be affected because it wouldn't actually, the time difference would kind of evaporate and it would continue to be the same time as here.
Something along those lines.
Um, does that include if you leave it? Meaning, are you in a bubble, like in a time bubble, or is it?
When we end up down in the, I don't know, blood pyramid room, whatever we're calling it, there doesn't seem to be an actual name in any of the occult stuff that's around it. When you're in that room, technically it's the exact same time as if you were here or wherever you entered from. Yeah, it's really confusing, isn't it?
So
And
your
what are
watch
the-
But
doesn't
if we were to
change.
go outside,
Well, that's the
we would
point.
walk
Like, is it?
outside into the sun.
If you were to go outside into the sun, it'd be a bad time.
All right.
Yes, I put that together. I'm just saying, none of this has any effect on what the actual outside is like. We're not time traveling.
Correct? I want to say.
So it's not a bubble. It's not like if you, let's say you were able to get out into a darkened corridor that was not part of that
In Italy. I'm
pyramid
assuming you
in
mean.
Italy, that was not part of that corridor, or sorry, not part of that pyramid room. Would you be in a bubble still, or would you just automatically fall asleep? Is, I think, my point at least. Are you in a time bubble, or are you
I'm,
just?
I'm glad you asked. Yes.
Oh,
We actually found two other entrances, I guess would be the best way of saying it. There was like a certain kind of thing, key cipher system in the wall where if you like push this rock, readjust this one, slide it over, there was something that would open. And so far as we can tell, when one of our investigators, since there was two of them, there were volunteers from the Tremere and the Akata. We set them up with GPSs and tracking kind of satellite systems. One of them walked into that other room as it was completely pitch black dark, so we didn't have any concerns about sunlight getting in, and then just immediately fell asleep, fell over. One of them was in somewhere in the Middle East, somewhere, yeah, just completely and utterly buried. We think it may be somewhere in Israel, perhaps, and another in South America.
So
Is
we
there-
just basically have video game fast travel.
Yes, and at the same time, depressingly, no. Because upon leaving the blood/pyramid room, they just immediately fell over unconscious in day sleep.
Sure.
So,
But we have, if they wake up there, they're still there.
One would assume.
So you might have to adjust. What do the kind call it? Jet lag.
I suppose it's kind of a jet lag, but it's more of a you stepped onto a different area of the world and then you fell asleep.
Well, yes, I'd imagine it'd be a little bit more severe for us.
The one in South America didn't experience that, but it is almost directly longitude, latitude right underneath us, essentially. So the sun would still be on the same side of the planet.
Okay, so you said Israel and South America.
Correct.
Do those locations spark anything for any of the people in this investigation, like that based on the other information that you've already gathered, adding Israel and South America, is there a connection formed there? Does that hold significance?
They are two of the other positions of ley lines out of the six.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it possible that there are other entrances from those other ley line points?
It's possible. We still are deciphering a good chunk any motions at the things that are around him. We're still deciphering some of the scribings that are there. But yeah, it's entirely possible that if there are other connections, they would be in the same kind of six ley line positions.
Correct
So
me
where
if
does
I'm.
this
Go ahead.
Sorry. So where does this leave us then? So how does this help us? How can we proceed to help you, so to speak, advance this research?
Well, one of these particular positions is going to be, we can only assume where that thing would wake up. My guess at this particular moment would be Israel.
Interesting. So where does this leave us?
I mean, I personally feel great concern at the fact that they can establish all of these connections that apparently now has some bearing on time as well. That's pretty significant.
This
to me,
isn't
it seems like.
this isn't a new development though. This is, from what we can tell, the sites that are there, the connections, the most recent would probably be Vancouver. The other connections seem to have been there for hundreds of years, possibly thousands.
So this is just building off of some things that were already established then.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
some of us kindred earlier in the blood had some pretty powerful shit, to put it mildly. And us newer generations are not necessarily in touch. So maybe this is some of that.
There is one other thing.
Please.
If it wasn't for the Banu Akeem coming in and helping out, we never would have actually figured this particular part out. They're working on opening another door, but this one's far more complex than the others. There's from early, and he wanders over to one particular part of the scrawlings on the wall that is definitely the new stuff. From what we can tell from this is kind of what is there. If we also had pictures of this in the reports that I gave all of you. This new well, not new, obviously. The latest door that we've found potentially in this particular magical area leads to Alamut.
Excuse me.
Alamut, the mountain.
I don't know that Jude understands the significance of that.
Ja might, but he ain't saying.
Ja,
This,
Ja definitely would.
Fair enough.
yeah, that's a conversation for another time, not in front of Cassius.
And okay, so a new door that is far more complex
Yeah.
is leading to Alamut,
Yes.
the mountain.
Yes.
Okay.
In theory. We haven't actually been able to open it yet, but that's the prevailing consensus.
May I say that maybe we don't want to open it?
I mean, we've opened the others.
I'm simply concerned. Apparently, I mean, Malkav said that whatever it is that's supposed to be awakened hasn't been awakened yet. The unnamed. But what if what we are doing is actively contributing to it being awakened?
I mean, that's pretty much the risk you take with any prophecy. If it, the
Fantastic.
prophecy says if you go to your washroom, you're going to die, then you avoid your washroom. But if the prophecy says at some point in the next 5 years, some point you're going to die if within 3 kilometers of your home, you would clearly move outside of that 3 kilometers, yes? But then that place becomes your home.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Exactly.
So we are no closer to finding out what the actual ritual is that would awaken the unnamed. Or are we?
There are bits and pieces. In the Italy portion, we've managed to secure the outside portion of it. We figured out where the outside section is. And we've secured it, and there is massive amounts of occult ancient tomes that are there. We accidentally maybe killed a few kindred there.
How? Why? Like what happened there?
They were bally.
Okay.
Oh, those don't count.
No.
And you didn't get, I'm assuming they didn't give you any, you didn't glean anything from them while they were
They did not.
alive.
Yeah, they were, let's say, tight-lipped until the Banu Hakim took care of them.
Okay.
But
So
we're assuming that in those tomes, which we are going over and scanning into computers, etc., there's probably some portion of the ritual in those.
okay, that's a good start at least. Now, I'm happy that, the investigation has progressed in this way and that there is some more information, but the question remains as to how to continue to fortify and protect Vancouver while we are on tenterhooks waiting for this thing to wake up or the prophecy to be fulfilled. It's not entirely clear to me.
Right now, I would just say keep studying. Build up, build up our own power bases. Prepare as much as we can.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've been doing. Uh
It is kind of a side effect of Kindred's existence. The long game, as opposed to rushing into things and getting shot at.
and Jude looks kind of like visibly frustrated at that, and she's like, I understand that because we have a lot more time that we're upright and walking around on this earth, that you do have to like sit back and wait. But every single person and being that we've come into contact that's talking about this awakening has very much impressed upon us the sense of urgency that is here, at least in my estimation, that this is imminent. Now, as Abigail said, not yet awakened, that's great, but the concern, the sphere of concern about this is growing. And I guess there's nothing to do than to just wait until the next danger presents itself. But I mean, I hate it. I hate that.
It's
I hate it.
it's annoying, but let me ask you this: how potent is your blood?
I mean, not right. Not much.
See, even if it were to awaken, it would take time to rebuild that particular potency in its blood again. So, the longer it would not necessarily wait too long, the key is trying to find the sweet spot. It's awakened, it's confused, etc. Even if it does awaken, it won't be at the power level that it was when it went to sleep. I can guarantee you that. Because this thing, from what I can tell from all reports, has been asleep for about 4,000 years.
But it has a so far unnumbered amount of followers that are willing to do its will and presumably expedite the process of its gaining its power back.
And we're attempting to take care of those whenever we find them.
All right, so you must understand that the lot of us, well, at least me, I can't speak for all of us, but what it sounds to me like is that we are all pretty frustrated because we want to actually do something. We want to take action. You're giving us all this information, and that's fantastic. It's great to know all this information, but what do we do other than gather more information? Is there anything that anybody in this coterie can do, or is it just a sit back and wait while, followers of this thing decide that they want to try and awaken it?
I suppose see if you can find any of the followers and take care of them.
All right. I mean, that's a step.
Is there?
You've already taken care of several of their followers here. One of which, Duran, if you wanted the head, I could arrange to have that delivered to you.
See, that would be wonderful.
I don't think there are any more bits of information that we can quite get out of it at this particular point in time.
Bueno.
You might need some Hakata leaning?
I have some ideas.
I figured you would.
Is there some expert that we can call in from somewhere else around the globe? Is
Yeah.
there some? Yeah.
There is,
there?
but he's
Okay.
he's a dick.
Well, a lot of our kind are dicks, but they still have their uses now, don't they?
Yeah, but not. There's assholes, and then,
And then
there's
there's Mordecai. That's fine.
Wow.
Yes, Duran.
I'm right here, dude.
Yes.
See, but it had to be said. When you wind up the dickishness, you wind up the you
I
hit
am
12 on a scale of 1 to 6. You do it well with style. Why you're the harpy?
I never do anything by half.
See,
Gotta do it with
that
your
that is what
whole
the
ass.
exactly that is what they tell people is that Mordecai Strickland does not half-ass. He is an entire ass.
I don't care
Okay.
what anybody says, Mordecai. You're not a complete asshole.
I
So who is his specialist? Who is the dick?
Beckett.
fuck off.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
I don't know him, but from
I don't know. if
apparently
he
other
does.
people know that
Legends.
he is a dick as well.
Well, no, I've heard things.
He's
I've
the-
never met him.
Foremost expert on all things kindred related, and traveling across the globe, interviewing Methuselahs who had recently woken up,
He's also
chronicling
Actually-
a prick
things.
from everything.
Bit like
I've heard.
flossing the teeth of a
So
shark, isn't it?
It is possible, but yeah, it's kind of like that.
also, why would he want to help us?
He probably won't.
Yeah.
All right, so what's our second option?
Last time he was here, he caused quite the fucking mess.
Oh,
What's
he's been to Vancouver.
Hmm.
Fatima told me about him. I know.
I mean, there's also Fatima.
Yeah.
In theory, if we could get a hold of Fatima, Beckett, Lucida, that'd be our best bet at this particular point in time.
You really like playing with fire, don't you?
I don't like playing with fire at all. That's why I'm not too keen on these particular options.
Neither am I.
Right then, other as effective options?
We go on a murder spree and we kill everything we come across.
I mean,
That
if
is an attractive option.
optimally, if this would had happened a few years ago, we would have the entire Tremere Chantry and other resources in Vienna at our disposal.
Yeah, maybe some former chaotic primogen to throw as cannon fodder at these things. I'm
I
just
mean,
saying.
You don't want to put your own neck in the chopping block, do you?
No.
Exactly.
What I've been trying to explain. We need to just send out a fucking wolf pack. We can't be the hunters. As much as this pains me, I really want to be out there. But we got other shit to handle. We're gonna have to calm down all of these people who are gonna be real upset. Oh, by the way, Second Inquisition came and tried to assassinate us. Just thought you might want to know.
That's not really an FYI type of thing. That would be sort of burying the lead type of thing.
There was no
I mean, we
burying the lead.
wanted to
told
hear
you
your
everything
report.
just now,
It
after
was
the
gonna
report.
come up.
Right. So the Second Inquisition is active again in Vancouver.
Yes.
Appears that
When
way.
are they not? When are they not active? Let's put it that way. I mean, honestly,
we
it's
killed
getting
them.
a little bit of a nuisance.
Well, one would assume that, I mean, in theory, if you kill a bunch of them, and then you kill a bunch more of them, and then you kill a bunch more of them, eventually the people on the top of the food chain are going to be like, you know what, we keep losing these guys, let's put these random idiots here, and then they can deal with it. And then the random idiots don't know their ass from their elbow, and then they kind of leave us alone by extension of them being morons.
Have you ever heard the term "know just enough to be dangerous"?
I have.
Morons can be even more dangerous than people who think they know what's going on.
Hmm.
The only way to take care of that kind of structure is take out the people at the top so they stop sending lower down people at you. It's when they throw the morons at you that you start to worry about things, because morons do things randomly, and randomness, no.
We can't we need to eliminate as much unpredictability right now as we can, because there are already so many factors that are working against the safety and security of the city.
See, and we have
Okay.
two DEFCON 5 situations, these Leopoldian Inquisitions and the rising of the Asher Bally Dick, whatever. I'm expecting a third one to show up because things happen in threes. It's just more entertaining that way.
Can
But
we just get
there-
done with the survival?
there's-
Was that number one? Like,
no, they all have to happen at the same time. Well, the
I
other
mean,
two would
technically.
probably happen too.
So Cassius, I'm assuming that it is your professional opinion that bringing Beckett here is not worth it ultimately to help unravel these things.
I mean, if he can get the information to us, it would be worth it.
Fatima owes
Well,
me
why
a
d-
favor, but I don't want to call that in right now. I really don't.
We could write him a nice letter. Dear Beckett, we need some information, ASAP, etc., etc. Yours truly, the Sundown Appreciation League and Book Club.
I mean, there's nothing masquerade-y breachy in that. So yeah, I'd say, get your carrier pigeon and send it off. Who knows where he's at this particular point in time?
Right, sarcasm. Right, we haven't had this sarcasm discussion. Shite. All right. Okay. Anyway, next.
I might have an in with Beckett.
Really? What do you have to give him?
Information. That's what he seeks above all, is information about kindred happenings all across the globe. Well, I was around at a very significant happening indeed, and it seems I'm the only one that's still around to tell that story, which I don't know that he has at all. Something he'd certainly want in his massive tomes that he's compiling, or whatever he wants to do with this historical thing, these historical records. So I've got a first-hand account. I'm the only one that has it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So let me reach out. If he says no, great. Who fucking cares? Honestly, it's just another dead end. We're used to that. All I can just be like is, no, I'm not interested. Whatever. Fine. It won't take long to just extend the correspondence and just continue on our way. Do approaching all these other prongs of our investigation and our strategy. So I feel like it's at least worth a shot.
Don't hate it.
Besides that, I mean, I get that I'm sure he'll be difficult to work with, but I mean, Cassius, aren't all of us a little hard to work with sometimes?
You have no idea.
Yeah, you really don't. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll get that going and I will report back. And is there anything else you could use or that you need that would help with your investigation at this point in time?
Nothing. So that I can think of, anyway. The investigation, we're still working together with the Hekata and the Banu Hakim, which is fucking weird.
All
I'm glad
hands
you're
on
all
deck.
getting along. I'm glad you're all getting along. You're getting along, correct, Cassius?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No problems there whatsoever. See? Sarcasm, jerk.
Don't speak to the primage in that way.
Oh, don't worry about it. I deserved that one. I should be a little less snippy. I just want to get something done. I feel like we keep getting information and there's nothing we can do about it, and it feels a little useless.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
would put
right
this
there with
as
you.
getting along. They aren't killing Tremere, and I can tell you with a very open heart that my brethren like to kill Tremere.
Oh, I know, and I mean, it's appreciated that they aren't killing Tremere.
I mean,
It is appreciated.
You kind of have it coming, but now is not the time.
I mean, we probably do. We did some pretty horrible shit. Yeah, we probably do have it coming.
Well, we I need to go upstairs and take care of some shit up there. So I thank you for this informational session. I will do my part. I will assume that you'll continue to put all of your power and resources into this investigation, and I'm sure you'll
yes.
contact me when you have something for me.
I have been so far.
Oh yay, this is the part where we piss everyone off.
Oh, all right, my prince. You wish to convene Elysium then?
I think it's time.
Oh, fun. All right.
And Jude stands up and kind of gives Cassius and I don't actually know, were there like other Tremere or like
There's
it was
nobody
just
else in the room
Cassius?
other than you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I just was wondering. Okay, so Jude kind of gives a curt little nod to Cassius and then is stepping out to go upstairs.
Is everyone else following suit? Not following the suit, Duran, but following
I think
suit.
as everyone's leaving the room, I think Ja will sort of hold Mordecai back for a moment.
Okay.
Mordecai, if things get too out of hand, you might need to be a hammer, if you understand my meaning.
I always understand your meaning, John. That's why we get along so well.
People riot.
Nah, it'll never go to riot.
You'd be surprised. You throw out
Problem is,
words like Inquisitions and Sabbats and awakened elders, and we really shouldn't talk about that at all. Honestly, people start to panic a little bit.
most of them won't understand. Most of them
Yes,
won't care.
The ones that would are already gone.
Exactly. So all we have left are the individuals who may or may not be inconvenienced,
Or incredibly self-interested.
or the ones like myself who can't really be stopped from importing and exporting. So it's more of a it's the closure of the city is a wolf without teeth. It's not going to accomplish anything.
It'll mostly give us a reason to take care of things if the young ones get out of line.
My caution would be to phrase it as a form of help us help you sort of thing. The velvet glove, the hammer won't be necessary because they won't understand why the hammer's even there.
You have a lot more belief in people than I do, but I'll let you give Jude this sort of advice because I am not great with words.
This is why we have you as a hammer, my friend. When it comes to it, I'll be at your shoulder. Worry not.
Fair enough. And we keep it moving.
All right. So everyone is making their way upstairs to the throne room.
Yep.
Quick text
All right.
to my sire. Just a couple quick words. Would Hesha know anything about Israel?
Let's see. This is probably this. This all happened kind of realish time, give or take. There was about a half an hour of whatnot between there and here. It's about a 9-hour time difference between Egypt and Vancouver. Actually, probably about a 10-hour time difference.
If you're going to bring up Beckett, I'm going to bring in Hesha.
There was, there's probably about a half an hour or so that you would have to send this text. They would actually get it and be able to respond like right away.
Cool. I mean, if they don't, it's fine too.
The response you get back is likely.
We'll text later with details.
And you don't get anything back.
Come visit soon. Heart emoji, snake heart emoji.
Wow. So everyone's making their way to the throne room. In the throne room, there is... I'll wait till Cliff is situated, by the way, buy our merch. And sign up for our YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe.
My next werewolf character.
Like, share... the Glasswalker. Like, share, and subscribe.
Glasswalker, like and subscribe.
Mike, there's a little end button.
I'm gonna reach my hand across the board.
So, the throne room, there's mostly everybody's kind of kept out of that particular area. It's only opened up and thrown open the doors for like specific Elysium meetings, but the Elysium itself is set up in an art gallery so that everybody can mill around and make deals and whatnot. I'm assuming you're going to let Frank know that it's time to open the doors.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, Frank makes his way to the main doors and opens them and starts ushering the various kindred in. They come in and, ones and twos, little gaggles. The Toreador mean girls are there. You can definitely tell that there's the Malkavian contingent because one of them has a newspaper hat. Yeah. Alcunians
Are the
weird.
Toreador? I mean, the last I heard, the Toreador were like making things pretty. Like, what exactly are they doing?
You can't tell.
Oh, okay. That's so
Yeah,
suspicious.
it's weird.
What the fuck? I don't like that.
There doesn't seem to be anything that is out of place. It doesn't seem like there's anything like any, silk draperies or anything like that. It just doesn't. It
So no
seems.
significant differences.
Yeah, it seems like you left it the other
They
night.
must be talking about themselves.
I'm worried about secret glitter.
God damn the shade.
Secret glitter. I don't trust it.
Abigail just mutters under her breath, "This is so last season."
There is a definite glare in your direction.
That's not a box you want to. Okay, you said it.
Yeah, from one of the Toreador definitely glares in Abigail's direction, gives the little.
Somebody
Abigail
has
just
aspects
smiles.
just to listen for shade all the time.
So, how are you beginning this particular portion of the meeting?
So I think before like anything official is convened outside of like opening it up and having people come in, I think Jude is like basically just trying to get a last conflab with the coterie and to just kind of like lay everything out about like what I'm actually gonna say.
Okay.
So she's kind of like just as cordoned off as we can be, as like in sort of like a corner or like away from the majority of where people are congregating. She would like kind of direct everybody there and then just look at them and be like, okay, so I'm going to announce that the city is in lockdown, which means no large gatherings, no new entrances to the city that have not been previously approved. Um, what is the level of disclosure that should happen here about the threats?
I mean,
That's my question.
They're going to ask why. So I
Tell
guess the
them.
question is, yeah. I
We were
mean,
attacked.
you have an SI threat.
That's what I thought because I mean, the SI to me is like the great unifier of threats among the kindred that everybody knows it's bad and it's serious, and that I think that will provide the easiest like way to
It will
get
also
everybody's
paint a target
understanding.
on our backs, but that is what it is.
Listen, add it to the other million targets that are already on my back.
Hey,
Like,
I'm
let's
not
just
saying
throw
don't
another
do
one
it.
on the pile.
I'm just saying that people will look at us and be like, well, it's your own fault, sort of thing. But guess what? You're the prince. I'm the seneschal. That's the primogen. That's the harpy. What are they going to do about it?
Exactly. And Jude sort of like adjusts her like shawl and kind of like feels the fringe at the end, just kind of trying to ground herself. And she's like, all right, anything else before we get this going?
See, I
Okay.
would recommend invoking the traditional progeny, that no new progeny are embraced during this time as well.
I
And
was thinking that too.
I would suggest highly, just to make sure that they know you are serious, invoking the tradition of accountability, that you are holding the primogen accountable for their clan's actions.
I like that. That's great. Good call. Good call. Mordecai, any last suggestions here?
You're muted, Mordecai.
Velvet glove.
So a soft touch then.
You're never going to stop anything. This entire operation of the closure down of the city is a wolf without teeth. You can't stop the Sabbat from coming in or leaving. The Anarchs will leave or come as they please. None of it's going to matter other than a grandiose gesture of an attempt to exert power. If you reveal the fact that you are powerless to stop anyone, that weakens your position.
You see, this is where I disagree with you, Mordecai. If someone gets out of line, we can make an example of them.
Is that the kind of princedom you want to have, though?
Reality sucks.
I have yet to see a successful domain run by a prince who does not make examples of people who break the rules and rather allows them to get away with it. Yeah. We have not only Senor Cato, we do also have the sheriff. I have no doubt that there are people who run with the sheriff. The one we met that one time with the tentacles, what was her name? Virginia Slim. See, and a few others. That if the Anarchs decide to get out of hand, we can take them to task as well. Primarily, this princeship is handling the Camarilla population of the city. In which case, yes, if someone gets out of hand, you fucking kill them. End of sentence. That is why I said she invokes the tradition of accountability. This way, she makes it everybody's problem. So if a minor Ventru decides he wants to throw a big party and invite all the Ventru, it is the Ventru primogenitor, as an example, to say, sorry, cannot do this at this time because of what the prince has said. Otherwise, both of them are on the carpet. I do not believe this wolf has no teeth. I believe this wolf has the teeth that this prince and the council want to use. And you as Harpy have teeth as well. Would you fucking use them, please? Why is it that an independent, a Hakata, who is not part of this shit at all, is telling you how the show runs? Porco Dio, this is stupid.
Myself.
I see, but you are.
We all are.
By convenience. I take your point.
Whatever means. We are what we are. And we are, at the end of the day, running a city. Which means we have to do awful things to keep the city running.
As you will.
Jude's gaze kind of lingers on Mordecai for a bit. But then she looks away. And she says, okay, I'm ready. Thanks for your help. And she, I guess, takes where the throne is. The throne's in, the
throne is in that room.
So, okay. So she will move over to that, to standing up, like, in front of the throne. And, she will just use her voice and just be like, attention, and just kind of, like, project super loud.
And there's like all the kindred kind of, there's like a low white noise, and then that sort of dies down a bit, and everybody starts paying attention, looking in your direction.
Okay, so Jude kind of like scans the crowd really fast, and then she says, welcome. This is an Elysium. I will remind you, and I don't want to waste your time here tonight. So I'll get right to it. The Second Inquisition is actively targeting us currently.
There's a low murmurs and kind of glancing around.
I'm sure that many of you are aware that they have been present in the city for some time, but now they have actively moved against us with prejudice and violence. So, in light of that, the city will be locked down. What that means is that there will be no large gatherings of our kind in the indeterminate future. There will be we will speak of the third tradition of progeny. There will be no new progeny during this time, during this lockdown. There will be no visitors of our kind to the city that have not been previously approved.
There's more murmuring.
Yeah.
And there's more glaring.
And technological communications will be shut down.
There's a lot more murmuring. Like it's not overpowering your voice or anything, but people are like, it doesn't seem that the kindred population of Vancouver wants to accept this particular point.
Wow, shocked. I understand that this may be inconvenient and for many of you, but for the sake of your own safety, this is something that will be enacted as of now. Additionally, from evoking the third tradition of progeny, there will also be accountability among the primogen, that the movements and the actions of the clans will they will be held accountable to the primogen. This is something that affects all of us. Any use of communications will be considered a masquerade breach and dealt with accordingly.
There's more murmuring. Yeah, it's
my interest is to protect all of you. That is my number one goal. I would not enact such measures if I did not think that they were necessary. And I have sought counsel from various sources. This is the best course of action for Vancouver right now to prevent further kindred destruction and disruption in the city generally.
Yeah, there's definitely people who are like trying to get Jude's attention to plead the case of not doing what you're suggesting.
And Jude leans forward slightly. Is there a table in front of me?
If you want there to be a table in front of you.
Yeah, I always thought that maybe there was some kind of table in front of the throne.
Okay.
So she kind of just like, she leans forward and puts her hands on the table and says, "There will not be exceptions."
There's still murmuring.
I hope you can understand, after all this city has already been through with the Sabbat, among other things lurking in the shadows, that the only reason I would do this is that I would deem it necessary to protect all of you and to protect not only your personhood, but also your business interests, your political interests, the people that maybe few among you that you care about possibly. These are the things I'm concerned about. So there you have it. Take the security measures seriously. The Second Inquisition is out on the street looking for you, looking for us. This is all of our problems. You and your clan members in other cities, you've heard what the Second Inquisition does to us. They are experimenting, they are kidnapping, they are destroying us, and we cannot allow that to continue to happen in this city. That concludes my statement.
And that seems like a good place to end this particular episode. Duran? Okay, Duran, we're done. All right, so thank you all for watching. The city of Vancouver, the kindred population, is going to be fuming on this for a bit. But let's see if they accept the terms of the new prince. So, thank you all for watching. Thank you for any bits or subscriptions you've dropped to us. They are always appreciated. And if you are hooking up with our YouTube and subscribing, you can win one of these. Just as a reminder, I'll throw that in the chat, and let's do some outros going in the opposite order. Get ready, Duran and Cliff.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much for being with us tonight, viewers. My name is Cliff. I played Duran Giovanni, who... Do vampires get tired and cranky? I've got a feeling this vampire got a little tired and cranky. So yeah, I'm going to go sit him in a corner for a while with something he can cuddle with, his cat or something. You can catch me here Saturdays for the Vampire Takeover with this incredibly diverse and entertaining crowd of entertainers. And the fun never ends here. You can also find me Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, running our changing 20th anniversary chronicle, Toronto by Day Tales from the Rookery, where I think we've settled down into the new Motley, and things have gotten strange there. They're about to meet some interesting people. Actually, at this point, they will have. So there'll be some more interesting people I'll have to arrange for next game. There are also other things coming down the pipeline. I'll be up and around and doing things. Find me on Insta under the Vintage GM, which is where I'll occasionally announce things. And other than that, yeah, my link tree is over that direction or something. And thank you again, and we'll see you next week.
And Sarah.
Hey, my name is Sarah. I play Jude. You can find me on Twitter at MC Diabetes. I'm also a creative partner at Martlet Games. We have a number of things in production and on screen. We have our Indianapolis Anarchs game, which is on Sundays. We took a break for the holiday, but we're coming back tomorrow. A ministry-controlled city, very interesting stuff. A little bit of a different setting, so that's fun. Other than that, tomorrow is the season finale of Phandalin by Night, the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Lost Mines of Phandelver campaign here on the channel. So it would mean so much to me and to the rest of the table if you checked us out. So that is tomorrow, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. That's going to be really fun. The last episode was an absolute blast. So if you missed that, check that out on YouTube. It was truly one for the books. Other than that, I'll be in the storyteller seat pretty soon here for my Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition chronicle called London's Bleeding, which takes place right after World War I. If you're a member of the $5 Martlet Patreon, you can see the first 2 episodes all ready to go. So if you're champing at the bit, there it is for you, and that will be broadcast on Twitch in the very near future. Other than that, just follow me on Twitter. You'll see what I'm doing. Got some guest spots coming up. And thanks, everybody.
And Mike.
Hi. Mike, played Mordecai. You can catch my pre and post COVID cosplay adventures at Canadian Captain America on Instagram and TikTok. CDN Captain America on Twitter. Where I do most of the D&D stuff, which I have something coming up fairly soon with regards to D&D, but stay tuned to that. Details as they will arise.
And Prince.
Hello, everyone. I am Prince, also known as Dimples and Dice around the internet, and I've been playing Cato the Seneschal, and potentially bloodthirsty or just very practical. You take it as you will. Player in this game. Let's see. What am I up to? Well, first off, you can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz, as Dimples and Dice. Tomorrow, you'll find me over on my channel, 11 a.m. Eastern, for Wayward Revelry, a D&D 5e campaign based on Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So if you're looking for some Fae shenanigans, do come over there and see how our crew is doing in the Prismere. Obviously, you'll find me right after this over on my sister station, Rolling D's 20s, as the storyteller for Philly by Night. And they're going through some very similar things. As a matter of fact, their Bruja has been captured by the Second Inquisition and being held and literally cooked in a room right now. And they are on a rescue mission to get her out. So that is going to be a wild episode. So do stick around after this to watch. There's a bunch of other stuff and things I'm in. So do just make sure you follow me on Twitter. That's where all the announcements of things that I have going on are happening. There's going to be more stuff coming in the near future. I'm really excited to talk about, but I can't yet. So stay tuned.
And Joanna.
Hello, my name is Joanna. I was playing Abigail for you today, and you will find me on Twitter under High Roll Gardener, and you will find me here on Saturdays. I am asking you, if you are so inclined, please go over to our YouTube and subscribe. There is so much good content, and we are 34 as of right now when we're filming on Monday. We are 34 subscribers away from hitting 1,000. Now, we all know that, you know, YouTube doesn't pay out much, but it's something, and after we hit 1,000, we can actually make something and, you know, give it to all our players here and on all of our other shows. So please do subscribe. And that's it for me.
And this guy is Storyteller Steve. Upcoming for stuff, hang tight for the raid for Rolling D's 20s and Philly by Night. Make sure you click on the Rolling D's 20s that is underneath their video to transfer yourself over right away. 11 a.m., go to Dimples and Dice. Check out the Wayward Revelry. And then at 2 p.m.
So
PST.
hard to say those two words together.
Yeah.
So hard.
2 p.m. PST, our season finale of Phandalin by Night here. Come back on Wednesday for the Changeling at 3:30 p.m. PDT. I keep saying PST, which is wrong. And then Friday will be Rime of the Frost Maiden at 5:30 p.m. PDT. And then back here next week for our season finale for the vampire stuff. And hopefully we will cross the barrier for the 1,000 subscribers by that point, because there's only 34 left to go. We're on Monday. Also, there is a sale going on right now in our merch shop. Up to 30% off all of our merch. See, now is the best time to purchase anything from our shop. And yeah, check everything for individual prizes. You can get the Jude for Prince t-shirt. There's a Sundown Appreciation League and Book Club t-shirt that's done in like an 80s style, like weird, like when most of the vampires that are on screen were embraced for the most part. You can get the blood dye. You can get a bunch of other stuff that's on there from our other different shows as well. So yeah, check all that out. And we will see you next week for some season finale shenanigans. So hang tight for the raid, and we will see you all next week. Have a good night, everybody.